Today was the first day of the Sylvania Academy. Students were seen sitting neatly while listening to a speech from a teacher. However, on that first day, Ed was almost expelled. He himself was currently summoned to the principal's room. He did not expect Phineas to tell the principal about him. Although from the way the grumpy old man spoke with a smile on his face, it seemed that Phineas did not say anything bad. He almost avoided it. Ed then decided to be careful so that the storyline would not deviate from the original. Life skills honed for survival, and magic training suitable for a student majoring in magic. To get the best combination of the two, there is no better weapon than a bow. When his life skills become more and more proficient and he can make good quality arrows, he would be able to cast spirits or magic on his arrows, though of course, spirit formula are outside. Ed then looked surprised when he saw a girl taking shelter under a tree. The girl was named Janica Faylover, a second-year student, as well as the top rank in the class, Genius Spirit Sorcerer. Janica also seemed to notice Ed's presence. She then asked if he was the amusing guy Marilda was talking about. Ed could only stand still hearing that. Janica then enthusiastically introduced herself. Seeing that, Ed confusedly asked how she got here. Janica then asked if he was surprised that she knew about him. This forest was the territory of Marilda, a high-ranking spirit. He heard a lot about it from her. Ed was quite surprised that the ruler of this forest told Janica about him. Janica only said that Marilda was quite nosy. With her attention scattered all over the place, it was obvious that she knew about unwanted visitors. Ed couldn't say a word hearing that. He had indeed killed many animals here. He had also cut down many trees. Ed felt worried about that. Janica then told him to stop worrying about small things. It was the law of nature for creatures in this forest to catch and eat each other. Marilda was also not bothered by such things. Ed looked blushing when he saw Janica, who was getting closer to him. Ed then tried to divert it by saying that he thought even giant wild wolves had soft hearts. Janica suddenly blushed at Ed's words. She then laughed while putting on a sweet smile. Janica said that there was something she wanted to show him. She then showed him a spirit, and asked him if he was cute and adorable. Yesterday she made a contract with him as soon as she saw him. She then asked Ed if he wanted to try to touch him. Ed seemed quite surprised by that and the fact that Janica made a contract with that spirit. Ed thought, if he wanted to be friends with Janica, he just needed to talk to her at the right time. However, Ed then told her that he didn't know what she meant. He didn't see spirits at all. More precisely, he couldn't. Janica was surprised to hear Ed say he couldn't see spirits. Ed replied yes, and said that he came here to find food, so now, he would leave. Ed thought, only by following the original storyline could he gain an information advantage. Janica Faylover, a person who played an important role in the original storyline, was a person he should not approach. Janica could only stare at Ed's departure. She then recalled what Ed said earlier. Just like Marilda said, she felt that Ed was indeed an interesting person. Then a figure of a big white wolf along with a bat appeared behind Janica. No matter how hard she thought about it, she felt that Ed really couldn't see Marilda. Janica wondered who Ed really was. Janica then lay comfortably on Marilda's body. She had tried to be nice to Ed, but he only replied yup. She was a little upset about it, but that didn't mean they wouldn't see each other again. From now on she just needed to find out. The next day Ed then returned to running as hard as he could so as not to be late. The distance between his shelter and the student area was not close at all. He was almost late by leaving at dawn and running as hard as possible. Just by heading to the academy, he did a ridiculous thing that actually increased his stat. There was also a mysterious figure watching Ed who was heading to the academy, but he didn't seem to realize it. He thought, if he wanted to win the scholarship, he had to study more diligently. He wrote on a stone slab using a burnt twig and borrowed a book from the student library, while Ed was trying hard to study. Janica was seen watching him from behind. On the way home, Ed washed his sweaty clothes. For the day, there was also Janica who was still watching him. But Ed's activities for today were not finished there. He had to check if he had enough firewood, drinking water, and beef jerky for tomorrow's lunch. He could only sleep for 4 hours because of this. But that was not what bothered him the most. He then called out to Janica who had been following him. Janica was shocked that Ed was aware that she was stalking him. Ed said, it would be strange if he didn't know. Because he was Ed Roth Taylor, the worst punk ever, and asked why she kept approaching him. But Janica just said that it was just other people's judgment about him. Ed was surprised to hear that. Janica said that she didn't even know him. Ed couldn't help but think that Janica Faylover was indeed this kind of character. She did look naive and stupid from the outside, but she really independent-minded. However, knowing what would happen to her in the future, he couldn't answer her with a smile, because Janica Faylover was the final boss of Act 1. She was the only character who smiled at Roth Taylor. He didn't want to go this far, but, Ed then said, if so, since fate made them meet each other, could she help him? Hearing that, Janica looked very enthusiastic to help him. Ed said, as he could see, he was in a mess right now. He was banished from his family, and he was in trouble. He then asked Janica, could she lend him money? Janica was speechless hearing that. Ed continued, isn't that what friends are for? It's not that he won't return it, he just borrowed for a while, and asked how much money she has. Every year, Janica gets a scholarship for being the top of the class, but that's not just a sign of her greatness. Her background is so poor that without the scholarship, she can't enroll or continue to higher levels in this academy. The daughter in a small ranch, Janica, her weakness is money. Janica apologized and decided to run away from here immediately. Ed had expected that. 3 days later, although Ed felt bad about it, but he didn't want to get involved with important characters again. He had to be careful, so that the story would not deviate from the original, and when Ed was about to enter the residence, he was then very surprised when he saw a girl sleeping there. The girl was named Lucy Merrill. In order of importance, she's a character with an even heavier presence than Janica, the subject of admiration of her classmates and even the professor, a rare genius and the most powerful character of the failed swordsman of Sylvania. Ed wondered why she was sleeping here. Lucy then suddenly woke up while stretching her body. It was because someone was too noisy that she couldn't sleep. Ed himself was still confusedly thinking what she was doing in this mountain valley. Feeling that the person Lucy mentioned was him, Ed asked what he was doing. But Lucy quickly replied that it was not him. While pointing behind him, Lucy said that what had been noisy was the wolf behind him that was the size of a house. She continued to talk to him. Ed looked shocked by that. Lucy continued, the wolf asked him that one day, he could save Janica no matter what.
So, friends, this chapter comes to an end. What will happen next? We'll uncover it in the next chapter. Don't forget to rate this chapter out of 10 in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.